project is moving along. We're really starting to tighten up a lot of the details. Things are coming together. We got the roof going in. We got some brackets to hold some of our renewables. It's really going great. Siding's on order, should be here shortly. Be able to tighten up that whole outside shell. Hi, I'm Dave Sweet and welcome back. Today I have George Keithan of CES engineering firm over in Middletown, Connecticut. It's going to come down and he's going to meet with me. We're going to talk about the renewables and what's going on. So, hey, George.
Hey, Dave. How you doing?
All righty, doing great.
Good to see you got a roof on.
Yeah. It's kind of been a joke here with this extra insulation, the way we did stuff. We got it framed right away, but to go with this whole kind of skinning it again with all this insulation and rigid, you know, it's taken us a little bit longer than we anticipated. But yeah, it's come along, and I took your advice there that, hey, well, you're putting the roof on, might as well put the flashing and get ready for that. So
yeah, we've always found that roofers who work with roofing material do a great job in putting those flash feet up on the roof and getting ready for solar. They understand how to keep things straight and plumb and in line, so that in the end really gives a nicer looking installation.
Right.
So that's good to see how they've done that. And also with all the insulation that you put up on the roof, those extra lag lengths that we had to get into that system and hold everything really nice and firm, especially being by the water with the higher wind speeds and the snow loads. We're going to have a really robust system here, which will be great for all those snowy days and those high winds and keep everything in place.
yeah.
Well, Dave, within the next month or so, we can start seeing that first snow coming, so let's get on that roof and while it's nice and warm, and it'd be nice to get some panels on the roof.
That makes sense. Yeah, no sense waiting on there and let the bad weather come in. And
So Dave, let's take a look at the plan and where you guys are inside the building and make some moves forward here, because I want to make sure we've got enough space, we've allocated the right area, and we have a nice sized system going up there, so good planning and good access will be beneficial from now until the end of the project.
Yeah, right. This part's all making sense, but from here down, we just had some questions, about wires and locations and connections and all that kind of stuff.
So here's the plan we have in front of us, Dave. This was submitted to the town for a building permit. We did the engineering documents, and basically what you have here is the solar roof-mounted equipment, which are all your solar panels. And that's going to go down to those conduits that you talked about, down through the building, into the basement to your inverters. And these have to be conduit. They could also be a metal BX conductor,
Right.
Because they're DC power. They're not AC, so it's a different voltage. So the National Electric Code requires that we put a metal conduit system to go to our inverters, and these components will make this DC power, kind of like a battery power on a car, into AC power, which will then take out and go back into the house. So we got to make DC power into AC power, which is your house power.
Yep.
And that will then go into your electrical service, which will ultimately give us hopefully a backward turning meter.
Well, yeah, that's the game plan here.
Absolutely. So Dave, here's the plan on your roof plan showing where all your solar panels are. And just a couple things to go over here. And again, it relates to your brackets that you've already put on the roof. We've added a good clearance around everything so that firefighters can get around a building, because that they have to be able to get access to vent a roof. And also if you needed to get up there in the future to somehow do some service, when you really pack solar panels on a roof, you end up losing some of that access, and it makes it much more difficult to repair things. We have 42 solar panels, which is a high number of panels, but we're also doing a home energy rating, HERS rating on your house, and we were shooting for a very low energy rating, meaning you have very low energy that you need to have your house be fed from your solar panels. So these 42 got us very low, super low energy house, almost net zero. We could actually be that way in the end once you have your living styles in. So that's the reason for 42. You also see this is how we're going to get up from the roof, which we talked about those conduits a little bit easier. And we're using solar deck boxes. We show them on the outside here, but we really want you to tuck them underneath. So when you tuck them underneath, they're out of view. And we like the aesthetics of it, because I think solar panels have to look good on the system.
Oh, they look sharp. Yeah. When they're put in right and not wires hanging everything, and conduit coming up around the house and up.
Correct. So this will get you that option of all tucked in there. And then all you have to do if you have to get to the box, you remove one solar panel,
Okay.
pull it off, get to the box, put it back on,
right.
and it's readily accessible. So then where you have all your brackets, like we talked about, and going with the Iron Ridge XR100 product, which is a really, again, robust product. We like to put that robust system together. It's 4-foot spacing on your brackets to your roof. So by the time you're done, you're clamping all of this together, making all of this a very robust system. So here's the plans,
Okay, the electrical, we went over that. Yeah,
risers.
that's pretty.
And then really what's also important in the end is your labeling. So we have a labeling chart that talks about all the different labels that you'll have to have to show everybody you have an electrical system that's solar and that it's safe, and how do we turn it off, and what's warnings, and what are hazards, so that everybody will know later on how everything is put together.
Okay, so right on the conduit that we're coming down, we want to identify those EMTs, the 3/4 EMT that we have coming down, that this is...
Correct. So you'll have on EMT, spaced not to exceed 10 feet, this warning label, so that if you opened up the wall in the future, you'd say, oh, that's a solar conduit.
Okay, good. It's all, like you say, digging a trench and having it marked inside with
Correct.
the underground
For
utilities.
safety and longevity and any future maintenance.
Well, I just wanted to show you, where we're going to put the electric panel and inverters, make sure there's enough room, if you don't mind. Take a look in the basement.
Yeah, we want to make sure we do some planning. Everything here has been, planned very well, and we want good access to make sure that your inverter is always ventilated and that things are safe. Because in the end, safety is really going to be key.
Yep.
And we want a performing system.
Right.
So let's take a look, make sure you got enough room where things are going to go.
All
All right, Dave. So let's go check out your basement.
right. Yeah, my bowling alley.
Yeah, hey, this is great. I love basements. The smell of fresh concrete is always nice.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the beginning of what you got going. We have our main electrical service here. Everything is dead today. We have to be safe about that, right?
Yep.
Open panels. So we have our main service here, which is 200 amp service, and your sub panel, which is going to be used for any emergency or standby loads, not emergency loads, for if you have power and put a portable generator on that. So we're in the end, what we're going to be doing here, Dave, is we're going to be connecting into that service. And it looks like you got a great space over here to your left.
Yeah, this was kind of an alcove, kind of a bump out in the foundation. So we thought maybe this would make good sense. We insulated all behind theirs because we are going to continue with that 2 inches of rigid all the way around the inside. So we were able to put it all behind here before we mounted this. So.
Right. So certainly we can envision our inverters coming here, and having an inverter on the wall here and another inverter on the wall here. With those solar panels coming down, coming into this inverter on the DC side, off of that AC side, coming over here, doing a small combiner panel to combine all these PV loads, and then from here, we go back outside to that safety switch.
Okay, right. So it looks like we get enough space in here, so I'm excited, and all the equipment will fit here that we need to do for this solar system. So,
yeah, I think what's important, and you certainly have done that, is planning. Have the right people involved, in Connecticut, the Connecticut Green Bank. If you go on their websites, if you go to Eversource's website, or NABCET, which is the National Organization of Solar PV Installers, get a good list of qualified individuals, because you don't want to make a mistake here. We don't want to make these things wrong and wire them incorrectly and spend all this time and money. And then have it not perform the way you want. So very important to get those professionals involved and use the right resources.
Yeah. Well, that was the other thing. Where do you go for this kind of information? But like to me, this is an engineered system. Somebody's designed it. You and your firm has designed it, and now it's to follow through to keep up with that specifications there, make sure it all gets installed as per se.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, awesome.
All right. Good.
All right.
Let's go. We'll take a look upstairs.
All right, I'll just show you the front door and a few little questions I had about that and some air sealing techniques. George, as you can see right here, we don't have a front door installed yet, and that was purposeful. I hate when you go and buy like furniture grade stuff and it gets all beat up on a job site. So a lot of times I always wait to do the final doors until, it's almost ready, move-in condition kind of stuff. We allow for it on the outside. So what do I do in this case? How do I handle it? Where I don't have a door here? Normally you do a blower door test.
So, we're going to do that interim blower door to see where the air leaks are in the house. And this is not that uncommon. So what we say is, in this case, we just got to air seal this like it's a wall.
Okay.
So we'll come in, air seal it off so that it doesn't affect your overall blower door rating. And we'll come back soon and get that, depressurize the house and see where your air leaks are before you insulate. And we'll start solving any of the problems now, because it's a lot easier than trying to open it up walls later to solve problems.
Yeah. Is there any quick takeaways that usually you look out for, or main culprits or stuff like that you see?
We are always looking for bottom plates, around windows, around doors, around air sealing points. So I think that's what we'll go after.
Okay.
We'll come in on a colder day so we can get some temperature differential. And we'll bring our infrared gun with us as well, our actual camera. And when we do a blower door and an infrared, boy, it speaks a lot of language there. So we'll see a lot when we do that.
Okay, yeah, that'd be neat to see, where you can see where the cold spots are, or heat losing, or depending on temperature difference.
Right.
That's great. That's great. I look forward to that.
Yeah, looking forward to the next step, Dave.
Thank you, George, for stopping by.
All right,
that was great.
you.
Good information. Wow, George was great. He's just such a wealth of knowledge. It's great inviting him here. So anyhow, we learned a lot today, about the renewables and what's going on. We're moving forward on that PV array. We're going to start working on solar thermal shortly, and things are really wrapping up in good shape here. The electric, the heating, the plumbing are almost all come together. So really, you might be seeing George again when we get together to do that blower door test, because as he said, you definitely want to fix it now before you go through all that insulation and have problems and can't get at it. So when the walls are open like that, this is the time to do it. So that's awesome. Thanks for coming.